I'm not convinced. I'm just not convinced that this Nebraska team that I'm looking at right here, this is the team that's supposed to be preseason ranked number 22. 22 is pretty high. If you don't know anything about college football, guys, 22 is really, really high for a 5-7 team season prior to. I think Joe Klatt is smoking ganja. I really feel like Joe Klatt is smoking something. What's going on, guys? I hope you are having a great week, and I hope you're having a great day. So Joe Klatt just put out his top 25 preseason ranking for the college football year of 2024. I have one problem with the top 25 just because of one team, and that's Nebraska. I'm going to show you the ranking, and I want to make an argument that Colorado, if Nebraska can make that top 25, especially as high as he has them, then I can argue that Colorado should either take Nebraska's place or at least be ranked as well. I'm going to give you that argument in this video. Before I do that, guys, let Shador tell you who we are around here. Shador, tell him.
BWB. Bandwagon Buffs.
That's right. It's your man's Harry Billion. Please do me a favor and smash that subscribe button. Make sure to give me the thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you can get the videos as soon as it uploads to YouTube. All right, family. So I got to go ahead and get into this video real quick. So that's all the business I got. You know what time it is. Let's work. All right, guys. So welcome back. Let's go ahead and take a look at this top 25 ranking. It is a preseason ranking, but these rankings matter. You know, they matter for the fans. They matter for talking heads. They matter for people like myself. If it didn't matter, then they wouldn't do it. So let's go ahead and talk about it. All right, so here we are. I'm going to show you the board. I'm not going to play the video. The video's on YouTube. You can go check it out on his channel because I run a college football channel now. I've been doing my homework. I've been listening keenly. I have a whole year under my belt. Let me just disclaim this. I have no issues with this list except for at number 22. That's Nebraska. Let me make this argument and you tell me whether you think this is some type of favor he's trying to do Matt Rule and Nebraska fans. I don't know, but if we were to play a game of are you buying or selling, I'm definitely selling number 21 and I'm selling number 22. Maybe not so much number 21. I'll make an argument and you tell me whether these arguments are valid arguments. You know what I'm saying? Let's have it out in the comments. But here's my argument. I start with Arizona. I believe Arizona should be ranked. I would say Arizona should be ranked number 25. And here's the argument. What are you associating Arizona's success and how well they did? What are you associating that with? I would say you associate the Arizona rise and their success of last year with their coach. Their head coach or their former head coach, Jed Fitch. I felt like the leadership, his coaching staff was mostly the reason why they did as well as they did in 2023. Now, Fafita, their starting quarterback, he was actually not their starting quarterback. It was sort of like a situation with Max Duggan and TCU. Max Duggan was not their starting quarterback. The reason why he got in was situational. Chandler got injured. Max Duggan comes in. Boom. All of a sudden, they realized something that they did not realize in practices. They realized that Max Duggan was a unicorn. He leads them to an undefeated season. Something similar happened to Arizona. Fafita was not your starter. Fafita was a backup. I'm making an argument. Just stick with me, okay? Just hear me out. If my argument does not hold water, y'all let me know in the comments. Fafita began the 2023 season serving as backup to Jaden Delora. After receiving limited snaps late in Arizona's wins over Northern Arizona and UTEP, that's the University of Texas, El Paso, Fafita took over for Delora after he suffered an ankle injury late in the third quarter of the team's Week 4 game at Stanford. Fafita led the team on a 9-play, 67-yard go-ahead touchdown drive in the fourth quarter, and the Wildcats held on to win 21-20. A little note there. I mean, Stanford, we were killing them, right? We were beating Stanford pretty decisively until they came back and they beat us, okay? I already told you all about the mistake there. If we run the ball, we can hold on and we beat Stanford hands down. But Arizona right there struggles a little bit. Let's say from the quarterback play, right? So Delora wasn't doing that good of a job. Fafita comes back and they hold on. So not too much to read into that, but I'm just saying if we're following the type of things that happen within the season to say, okay, whether this team was really like that, should it really be ranked at where they're ranked? Now, whether you're an Arizona fan or not, or you're just a college football fan and you feel like your team was snubbed, they were left off this list, you can agree or disagree or make your own argument based on that. Jaden Delora gets hurt, Fafita steps up, and he takes them the rest of the season. Just like Max Duggan, Fafita is the truth. Fafita is now the leading quarterback with Arizona. Arizona does pretty well in this game. The type of momentum that Arizona came into this game with, right, beating pretty much anybody that steps in front of them, unless somebody tells me otherwise, I feel like we should have no place being on the same field with Arizona. Because when people assess Colorado, they're assessing us like we shouldn't even be on the field. It's like JV versus varsity, and Colorado is obviously JV. I know different. When I look into the data, when I look deep into the teams, the players, and I start doing my assessment, I'm like, I'm not seeing what these guys are seeing, even though they've been here longer than me. They've been here much, much longer than I have. And the things that they're saying just don't settle in well. The way that I feel about Arizona being ranked number 21, I feel like they're not going to do what everybody's thinking or what even Joe Klatt is thinking. Because once again, when they do their assessments, they're doing it based on what happened last year. Primarily what happened last year, and that's the right way to do it. But it's got to be done with pieces that you feel like and you know are going to be instrumental to that same thing. And those pieces are not there anymore. All right, so you believe in Fafita. So your ranking is based on the fact that they kept Fafita, right? That's what it's based on. I get that. But when you lose Jet Fish, who is their head coach, that's major. So now I'm thinking like, I wonder how many pieces were instrumental in last year's dominance. They were like the Cinderella team where they were going against teams that was supposed to be much better than them, and they were beating those teams. And I understand why you would rank them. But Colorado, that was not supposed to be on the field with these guys. You see Shador right there. He's doing his thing. And you start taking a look at it again. You start taking a second look and you're like, let me see. Really? These people are gaslighting us. These people are not telling the truth. Because we're not supposed to be on the field with Arizona, right? I said, okay, I accept it. At the end of this game, Arizona did not beat Colorado hands. They're like, get us up out of here. We should not be competing at all. What was the final score in this game? Let's take a look. They beat us. They beat us. I got to give it to them. They did beat us. So this is how it ends. 31-31 right now, fourth quarter. I want you to pay attention to this. All right. Colorado gets an opportunity to kick a field goal. I believe the score is 31-31 at this point in the game. That field goal is no good. If we make that field goal, we go up. So right there you see on the scoreboard, 31-31, fourth quarter. You would think that this team that's supposed to be way, way better than us, that have beat other teams that people would never say that Colorado can even compete with, this team should come in here and just hands down give it to us, just like that. That's how it should be. But it wasn't so. It was not so. At the end of the day, it came right down to a field goal. That was it. A field goal decided this game. So I'm like, if you think about it, this is supposed to be the weakest offensive line in the game, right, guys? The weakest offensive line. If the weakest offensive line in the game, right, according to y'all, is able to hold down Joe Klatt's 2024 number 21, then what does Khalil Benson, Jordan Seaton? If you got the worst offensive line in the game, then you should not be hanging with teams the likes of Arizona. They were a better team that day. They did a lot of good game management. I feel like Jet Fish did a really good job managing that game. I don't know how the other coach is going to come in, and I don't know how he's going to do. But now we got Fafita, and I would guess that they're returning majority of their offensive line, and they're returning majority of their defensive line. They're adding a few more pieces to their team. But now they got a new coach. So that's the argument. I feel like the new coach does not have the same leadership style and may not do a good of job as Jet Fish did. And Fafita is no Shador Sanders. So if you add our new offensive line, if we were able to hang with them with our terrible offensive line, then we should be able to hang with them with our better revamped offensive line and possibly be able to beat them, right? That's part of the argument for Arizona. So I'll bring y'all back to this board. My argument right now is only 21 and 22. I'm just making an argument for CU. I can say Arizona probably should be 25. Nebraska should not be on there. But if they are on there, then I can argue that CU should be on there too, because CU did beat Nebraska. Yes, we did. The Arizona argument maybe is not as strong as the Nebraska argument. But keep in mind, my Arizona argument is not necessarily that Arizona does not deserve to be ranked, because they did do pretty well. The way that I think think about top 25 ranking in college football, I'm saying that these are the absolute best teams in college football. And if they play anybody unranked, they should beat them handily. If that's a flawed thinking in college football at this level, y'all can let me know in the comments. Coach is gone. They still do have their backup quarterback of 2023 in Fafita. He's not a bad quarterback either, but I believe that Shedeur Sanders is better than Fafita. That's the argument for Arizona. Now we go down to number 22, Nebraska. The argument for Nebraska is the fact that they had a pretty good defense in 2023. Their pretty good defense played our terrible offensive line. If Colorado's offensive line, as you're looking at it right here, was terrible last year, and Nebraska's defense was really good last year, which is now helping them to get ranked preseason number 22, then I submit to you that I don't believe that they were that good to me, to us, to our constituents, to our fan base. I cannot stomach that they were that good enough to say a 5-7 2023 team has such a good defense that they're coming in preseason ranked as the number 8 defense in the country. So what you're saying is that they're going to continue from where they left off and they've gotten even better. But the recruiting doesn't suggest that to me. You brought in a bunch of high school students. I did that video, Nebraska versus Colorado. Go watch it. Their recruiting was a bunch of high school students. Not a lot from the portal, strong players from the portal. It was a bunch of high school students. So you're making an argument that one of the worst offensive lines in Colorado, the defense that could not stop them, was this good that you believe that if you just add a few more high school players, they were going to be good enough to now stop CU, which now have a better offensive line. Is that not plausible? You're telling me that's how it works in college football? My discernment says no. My wisdom says no. If we're digging deeper, we're going way deeper now. Not just on the surface, oh yes, they should be ranked and we like Nebraska, blah, 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 legacy. We're thinking about Matt Rule and how he built programs and he did Temple that way, Baylor that way. I'm not talking about none of that stuff. Right now, I'm just talking about, so the players that got to play, they were that good last year with one of the worst offensive lines that couldn't stop them from scoring or from winning. We did beat them, but now they added some high school players, and Matt Rule is just going to be that much better as a coach that he's going to come in here and he's going to beat CU with a better offensive line and the better quarterback, more experienced quarterback in Shedeur Sanders. And if this just stop fumbling, that would suffice to make them worthy of a top 25 ranking and be at the number 22 spot. Not at 25, but at number 22 spot. It's hard for me to swallow. I started eating fufu again, but this one is hard for me to swallow. And for you New Yorkers, pause. Because if you see those plays that's happening, that play that just happened, it seems like Colorado is doing a pretty darn good job with this defensive line. But they're coming in at number 8. They're coming in ranked number 22. I mean, you can look at it. The proof is usually in the pudding, guys. The footage, you can see it. Even though these are highlights, okay? This is not the actual game film. This is just the highlight. But if you don't know anything about college football, you're just watching the game, this wonderful defense should be able to stop one of the worst O-lines, offensive lines in the game. You should be able to stop them. Yes, that's another sack right there. Yes, he got a lot of those. You understand? He got a lot of those. But I'm not convinced. I'm just not convinced that this Nebraska team that I'm looking at right here, this is the team that's supposed to be preseason ranked number 22. 22 is pretty high. If you don't know anything about college football, guys, 22 is really, really high for a 5-7 team season prior to. 5-7. That means you are putting a lot of weight on their upgrades. Or if you're not putting a lot of weight on the upgrades, you're just saying, it was just some misfortunes that corrected those few things. And I believe that 22 is the right thing for them. There's no way. Maybe I would have felt a little better with 25, but 22, I think Joe Klatt is smoking ganja. I really feel like Joe Klatt is smoking something. How much you get paid, bruh? The argument is not sitting well. And I'm telling you, I'm not convinced. So if this team is being projected as number 22, then I submit to you that we, Colorado, who beat them last year, and like I said, the score should be way different. The score would have been way worse. I submit to you that we either take their spot or we should be ranked 2, because I don't believe that 22 is the right ranking for Nebraska. I don't believe it. You're not convincing me that, they fumbled a lot and that was by the quarterback. So now they got Dylan Ravioli, and basically he's going to be the X factor to make them worthy of a 22 ranking spot. I think Joe Klatt is going to eat that 22 spot. I'm telling you, man. if it's not Colorado, there's a much more worthy team than a 5-7 team that Colorado, this duct tape team, beat last year. There's a much more worthy team out of the entire college football spectrum that is more deserving of a top 22, and Nebraska does not deserve it. And if they deserve it, yes, I'm hating. Straight up, I'm hating on Nebraska. They don't deserve it. We deserve it. Straight up. You buying or selling? I'm selling. I'm not buying Nebraska got that better. I'm telling you, go watch the video I made about Nebraska and who they brought in. All of the players that they brought in, mostly freshmen, high school students. So I'm not buying that. I'm selling. This shouldn't be up there. KU's up there too at 23. We got to play them this year. Number 19, we also got to play. Number 20, we got to play. So we beat these teams, we get up in the rankings. The Big 12 is represented right now on that board that you're looking at. I'm just making an argument for 21 and 22. I think 21 more so deserve it from their play of the year prior, but I don't know how you rank 5-7 team from the previous year at number 22 in the top 25. It's laughable. There are teams out there and fan bases out there that feel like there's no way Nebraska's ranked at number 22. And I know Nebraska. I followed Nebraska this year. I don't care how good of a coach Matt Rule is. If they don't hang 50 on us to like 17, I'm calling BS. There's no way. There are other deserving teams out there that went through the season with a winning record and they deserve to be up there before Nebraska gets up on that board. And I'm straight up hating. And I'm telling y'all Nebraska fans, I'm straight up hating. I'm straight up hating. Yes, I'm hating. And y'all don't deserve it. And I don't think your defense is like that. You're going to have to see us. You're going to have to see us, okay? And we'll show y'all that your defense ain't like that. Y'all can be preseason ranked number 8 all y'all want, and your defense got so much better. But we're going to show Dylan Raiola, we're going to show Ravioli that we love Chef Boyardee. Oh, we love Chef Boyardee in Boulder. And I hope that I've made enough sense. The way that they talk about CU, the way that people look at CU, you would think that CU should not be in any conversation. But somehow, some way, when we get on the field with these other players and these other teams that they keep talking about, we are not blown out. One score. Like, Arizona beat us by 3 points. We missed our field goal. If they missed their field goal, the tides are turned. We beat Arizona. Okay, they're ranked because they did good last year, but now they have no coach. You're hanging everything on a freshman, unproven freshman quarterback that has not proven one snap yet. You're saying he's going to be like that. And Shedeur Sanders, one of the best, if not the best quarterbacks coming back into college football, playing for the Colorado Buffaloes. You're saying you would rank Nebraska over Colorado because you believe in Dylan Raiola so much and that defense and Matt Rule's coaching ability so much that it deserves at number 22. All right, guys. So y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Are you selling or buying Arizona at 21? Are you selling or buying Nebraska at 22 or even ranked at all? Let me know in the comments. I'm definitely selling. This should not even be on this list. All right, that's my argument. Let me know what you think. I'm going to leave it right there and I will see you, get it? See you on the next video. Okay.